Christianity, Democracy, and the American Ideal, a Jacques Maritain reader, compiled and edited by Jim Kelly. Chapter 1. A Single Human Soul. Democracy of the Person. Introduction. Throughout his life, Maritain expressed the need for an integral humanism that considered man not as a merely material individual, but as a person having both natural and supernatural ends. A person concerned about his supernatural aspirations will exercise his free will in a way pleasing to God. The gospel encourages and gives strength to those who aspire to show love, justice, and respect for others. Thus, Christianity helps preserve and protect democracy by enabling people to live and work together in peace. To flourish, modern democracies must reject materialism and individualism in favor of such a personalist, integral conception of life and society. Jacques Maritain. Faith in the dignity of the human personality, in brotherly love, in justice, and in the worth of the human soul outweighing the whole material universe. Faith, in a word, in the conception of man and his destiny, which the gospel has deposited at the very center of human history. This faith is the only genuine principle by which the democratic ideal may truly live. Any democracy that lets this faith be corrupted lays itself open, to that extent, to disruption. A person is a universe of spiritual nature endowed with freedom of choice and constituting, to this extent, a whole that is independent in face of the world. Neither nature nor the state can lay hold on this universe without its permission. And God himself, who is and acts within, acts there in a particular manner and with a particular exquisite delicacy which shows the value he sets on it. He respects its freedom, at the heart of which he nevertheless lives. He solicits it. He never forces it. A single human soul is of more worth than the whole universe of bodies and material goods. There is nothing above the human soul except God. In the light of the eternal value and absolute dignity of the soul, society exists for each person and is subordinate thereto. The worth of the person, his liberty, and his rights arise from the order of naturally sacred things, which bear upon them the imprint of the Father of being, and which have in him the goal of their movement. A person possesses absolute dignity because he is in direct relationship with the Absolute, in which alone he can find his complete fulfillment. Christianity confirms and emphasizes the concrete sense of equality in nature by affirming its historical and genealogical character, and by teaching that here we are concerned with a blood relationship, properly so called, all men being descended from the same original parents and being brothers in Adam before they are brothers in Christ. The unity of mankind is at the basis of Christianity. The American body politic is the only one that was fully and explicitly born of freedom, of the free determination of men to live together and work together at a common task. And in this new political creation, men who belong to various national stocks and spiritual lineages and religious creeds, and whose ancestors had fought the bitterest battles against one another, have freely willed to live together in peace, as free men under God, pursuing the same temporal and terrestrial common good. This freedom is not a celestial condition received once and for all and to be simply enjoyed. Existing in history and being a human thing, a most precious and lofty and therefore endangered human thing in the realm of civilization, it is perpetually threatened by new obstacles and perils arising from new situations in the process of time. It must be perpetually defended and improved. It must be a new conquest and creation for each generation. It permits no inertia, no passivity, no rest. It must be unceasingly regenerated by the life breath of a free people, and so it is one with this very life breath. This freedom leads to the discovery of a more profound and real sense of the dignity of the human person. As a consequence, man would rediscover himself in God and would direct social work toward a heroic ideal of fraternal love. Such a humanism, which considers man in the integrality of his natural and supernatural being, and which sets no prior limits to the descent of the divine into man, could be termed the humanism of the Incarnation. In brief, the question is to know whether, in fact, in the historical development of humanity, a slow work is not being performed, a slow and spontaneous activation of human conscience and conduct, tending to bring humanity closer to an order of which democracy of the individual was but a counterfeit, which I call democracy of the person. And the question is also to know whether this democracy of the person is possible only with the super elevation that civilizations receive from the energies of Christian life. Modern democracies suffer from a philosophy of life that undermines and annihilates from within their vital principle. If they are to rediscover a sense of justice and of risk and of heroism, it is under the condition of rejecting their materialist philosophy and of viewing in full light a personalist conception of life and of society.